Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Fekava Vet Chat. Every autumn, the international companion animal veterinarians in Europe are on a pilgrimage to the south of Europe, specifically to the Southern European Veterinary Congress. This event has now been held very, very successfully for many years in Spain, predominantly in Barcelona, but lately also in other Spanish cities. Unfortunately, because of COVID, this was not possible in 2020. And also in 2021, we will have an all online Congress. However, my interviewee today is the past president of AVEPA and also the honorary secretary of the Spanish and Portuguese speaking veterinary association, FIAVAC, and also the Spanish representative as FECAVA, Jordi Franch. Hi, Jordi. Hello. Thank you for joining me for FECAVA Vet Chat.
Hello, Wolfgang. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So, the Southern European Veterinary Conference this year, as in the same way as last year, will be all online. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it appears to be so that last year was really successful. You had 4,000 delegates online.
4,300.
Yeah. Wow. That's, I mean, it is, I think, in tune with the attraction this conference has had also as a physical conference over the last few years. I mean, from year to year, this Congress has been growing, and obviously it is for a lot of our colleagues in many countries of Europe, it is sort of, it has become now the must-go-to event in the autumn. So how difficult was it to transform from a physical conference to an online event, and how did you do it to make it so successful?
Yes, as you say, it was very difficult, but I could say that more than difficult, it was very difficult to know what would happen. So people from the staff is able to prepare a new protocol, a new Congress virtual, but the situation was how the people will respond to this new format, how our members will respond or would respond to this new format. And fortunately, the response from our members has been amazing. So as you told me, it's 4,300 attendees last year. I have here prepared a little bit the figures. We had from those 4,300 delegates, we had 700 from other countries, 50 from South America, and most of the rest from Europe. And also about 1,500 people that had to pay the Congress. So it's not cover a cost, okay? Because as you know, our members, they don't need to pay the Congress. So the Congress is included in the annual fee membership. So it is something that we offer for free to our members, the full Congress. The only requirement is they must register about 2 months before starting the Congress. So if one of our members want to register the Congress after the deadline, he must pay. Yeah. So the first year we had some problems because people say, I am a member of the Congress and I don't want to pay, but I am late, so I'm sorry that you want to pay because it was the rule in this way. But probably this next year, everybody will already know that there is a deadline and that this deadline must be accomplished. So we don't expect problems this year. So regarding how we prepare the transition, we were thinking about two possibilities in the virtual format: to have live recording or live sessions or from the speakers, or to have recorded lectures. The first time we decided to do all the Congress with recorded lectures, and the speaker was there after the recorded session to answer questions. This was because we wanted to avoid any kind of communication problem that with Wi-Fi, with etc. And everything went very, very well. I must tell you that we have had our second most important Congress a few months ago, and we decided to go all in live. So no recorded lectures, and it went perfectly as well. So it seems that we are changing our models. We need to learn from our mistakes. We need to open mind for new formats, and we need to adapt, because probably there is a public for clients for all kind of formats. So we didn't know what happened with the format last year, 2020, 2021, and we were happy with the results, very happy with the results, not only from the scientific point of view, which is the important or the main reason for the Congress, but also from the financial point of view, because you don't need to pay accommodations, travels of the speakers, or travels of the staff, travels of the board. You don't need to pay accommodation. You don't need to pay catering. You don't need to pay the venue. You don't need to pay the security of the venue. You need to pay for a lot of things. So for sure, the platform that allows to do this kind of Congress in a right way is not cheap. It's quite expensive, but mainly this is the only cost you have in this big Congress. So we are happy to do that. We open the access of all the recorded lectures for 2-3 months after the Congress. So both the members and the delegates of the Congress can or could access to the lectures during 2-3 months, and it was a good option. Next year, 2021 will be more or less the same. I don't know if you have any questions for next year, and your question was only for 2021, 2020 Congress. Sorry.
Yeah. No. One thing that was always was running super smoothly, and I think you were leading the way on that one, were the simultaneous translations during the Congress. So how will that be in 2021 now? How do you do that with lectures in Spanish and in English? Will both be available translations?
Yeah, it is already almost a mandatory fact for us. We should offer all the English lectures into a Spanish translation, because most of our members are not comfortable listening the lectures in English. So we will offer double translation, double platform, Spanish in Spanish and all in English. The lectures that will be in Spanish will be translated into English, and the lectures that are originally in English will be translated into Spanish. But as I told you, with two parallel platforms, in the way that if someone from, for example, another country wants to register into our Congress, he can or she can enter into the English part of the platform, and everything is in English. We are not thinking in other translations as we did several years ago to Russian and to other Polish, for example, but because it makes no sense. I think that actually there are a lot of conferences and continuing education products, and I think that everybody can already start to understand perfectly the lectures in English, even in countries which is a little bit more difficult. But when we have here the face-to-face Congress 2 or 3 years ago, we had a good representation from Polish vets, and in that case, we offered them the translation into Polish, which was better, and the same for Russian. But this year and next year will be only English translation.
We know that AVEPA has a long-established cooperation with the North American Veterinary Conference. So I saw that there will be 30 speakers. Will it again be a combination of Spanish and North American speakers?
Yes, we always have a kind of ratio between 1/3 American or Australian or faraway people or speakers, 1/3 European ones, and 1/3 Spanish ones. This is how we try to arrange all the congresses with this ratio. That can change sometimes, but basically the main ratio is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So yes, we are still in collaboration with the North American Conference. We exchange continuing education products. We exchange also some common projects, and we have a very good relationship with them for sure. Yes, and this relationship will keep in the future.
The key congress, the main congress, will be from the 19th until the 22nd of October of this year. The whole Congress will be 4 days in 3 rooms, as I understand. And my understanding is that until the 14th of October, delegates can register unless they are AVEPA members for €194. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that's absolutely sort of fine. So it would just be nice if we could also enjoy more of Spain at the Congress. So what are the plans of AVEPA for the years to come? I mean, we have now the 2nd year in online Congress. We are, I think, we have now become used to the fact to enjoy online congresses, but are there already any plans sort of where we will be in 22, 23? Obviously, always depending on the pandemic situation. But what format do the organizers have in mind for future Southern European veterinary congresses?
Yes, Wolfgang. I must to tell you that I am not currently the president. I am just the past president. So these kind of decisions are taken by the current board. So I know the information, but I am not the first. I mean the day-by-day information. Okay, but I am invited in the board meetings with no voting rights, but I am invited to the meeting, and so far, I know that the idea is to have the Congress for 2022 face-to-face in Sevilla. So this is the idea. If the healthy authorities and the healthy situation allow that, but it seems that will be possible because as happened in most of the countries in Europe, it seems that the situation is improving. The number of people affected is decreasing. The vaccination rate is quite high. So we really expect that the Congress for 2022 will be face-to-face in Sevilla. The other consideration is, what about the hybrid Congress? So considering that we have had a lot of delegates from faraway countries, must we keep these people happy having some kind of hybrid Congress, or just maybe recording some lectures and having available those lectures during 2-3 months after the Congress. So this is still under decision, but the situation of a hybrid Congress could be a real situation. More things must be evaluated. For example, if it is a hybrid Congress, we must put simultaneously face-to-face and a virtual lecture available, or we must keep the virtual option for after the Congress. I mean, to just be connected after the Congress, because imagine the situation that someone pay travel, accommodation to go to Sevilla, and then once he or she is there, she noticed that almost all the lectures are virtual, and he or she could attend to the lectures from home. So this could be some kinds of complaints, and we should take care about these situations. But probably some component of virtual format will keep in 2022.
Although I have to say, I mean, traveling to Sevilla in itself, I think, is worth already the expense.
But not in summertime.
Well, for us Northern Europeans, anytime is good as long as it's warm. So even if it is hot. So are you also planning to continue changing the venues on a regular basis? I mean, I have to say, I mean, I had the great pleasure to take part in the Congress in Granada. And I mean, that was absolutely fantastic. And I quite, although as much as I enjoyed the conference in Barcelona, it's a great opportunity to visit these epic Spanish cities. So are you planning to change venues from time to time, or will it be Sevilla and Barcelona only, or what are the plans there?
Yes, we are trying to find an equilibrium between changing the city and avoiding too much work different every year to set up the different problems that different venues create to you, okay? And also to have a good venue in an affordable price for us that cover all our necessities. And for the moment, these situations only happen in Barcelona, Madrid, and Sevilla. So during the first, I would say, 10 editions of the Congress, we stayed always in Barcelona. But then you must remember that this Congress SEVC is also the AVEPA Congress, which is the National Congress. So, and the board must take care of the members and listen to the members. And when I was president, one of the complaints that in the assembly appears from the members is, why always Barcelona? We want to move around and to visit other places. And also the companies say, we are already squeezing the marketing in the Barcelona area, and we would like to do the same in other parts of Spain. And this was the reason. The first one is the main one, the complaint of our members, to try to make 3 venues around Spain: Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, in this way. So the last face-to-face Congress was in Sevilla. The last one was virtual and was initially in Barcelona. 2021 should be in Madrid, but will be also virtual. So we come again to Sevilla next 2022. So we will depart from Sevilla and come back to Sevilla in terms of face-to-face congresses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Changing the subject slightly, the veterinary profession, sort of in Spain, obviously we all have been affected by COVID, but now at the time of this interview, we are in the beginning of or we are in the summer now. how is the situation now with our Spanish colleagues? Have consultations and day-to-day practice returned to normal, or what is the situation for our Spanish colleagues?
Well, I think that the situation of the Spanish vets is quite similar that the one I hear in the FECAVA assembly or in the WSIVA meetings, in which it seems that despite the first 2-3 months of the lockdown that was very difficult, the rest of the time the vets are happy with the situation, because they increase in a significant way the incomes of each one of the practices. The number of first visit for puppies has increased. The number of vaccination of the first visit of puppies has increased as well. The pathologies, the first help or first visit or first practice, or I would say the first important, or the closer, the people coming closer to the vet goes very frequently to the vet with new puppies, with new dogs, and in general the situation is very good in terms of financial, because they are happy with the new incomes, they are happy with the number of clients, there's an increased number of clients, and also the increased caring of the new patients. And most of them, I would say not most of them, but there is a high increase in the first owner puppy. Is it say in English?
It's absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely the same thing. In the UK, a huge number of new puppies and also kittens that have been registered. There is a huge demand. I think this had to do also with sometimes very strict, I mean, possibly in Spain even more, lockdown conditions. I mean, I heard stories that because the lockdown conditions in Spain were so harsh that people were renting out their dogs, because that was one of the very few sort of possibilities to get out of the flat or out of the house, renting out their dogs for people to go for a walk, because otherwise you were absolutely not allowed to leave your flat in the worst cases. So
I don't know if it is true or just a joke. But I can tell you that once that had a dog at the first month of the lockdown, it was a pleasure to have a walk with the dog around the cities, because there's nobody, there's very calm, and it was a privilege. And some people say, "May I take your dog for a while just to have this?" Yeah. I'm not renting my dog anyway. I'm not hiring my dog, but that's also true. Yeah.
So by now, sort of Spain will have some of the fittest dogs in the world, with being walked many times.
Yeah.
So also, finally, I need some comments on the football. I mean, you can't speak to a Spaniard without speaking briefly about football. I mean, especially with me being German. So come on, how do you think who will be the new European champion? Will it be Spain, or what's your estimate? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Maybe when this interview was published, people already knew the championship of the.
Yeah, we will know if you were right or if you were wrong.
Exactly.
So I have to admit, I don't think the Germans will make it this time. So I don't think anybody in Germany will kill me for this comment. But how is that in Spain? Do you think that Spain is good enough this year?
I don't think so. There is also a very passion discussion right now in Spain, because the men that make the selection of the players make a selection of the younger players and not all the big stars of the history. And this creates a lot of discussion in Spain, saying, well, this is the future. And yes, but with this team, we don't pass the first turn. And so there is a very, very passionate discussion right now. But as you think, the same way that you think that Germany will don't win, I'm sure that Spain don't win.
Okay,
sure.
So we will, at least we will find out probably before this interview will be broadcasted. Jordi, thank you so much for this Ficava Vet Chat. Once again, just to remind everybody, the Southern European Veterinary Congress 2021 will be from the 19th until the 21st of October of this year. The registration fee is 194 euros. There is a dedicated website where you can register. If anyone has any comments or any suggestions about Ficava Vet Chat or about this episode of Ficava Vet Chat, please email us on vetchat@ficava.org. and or contact us via our social media outlets. Once again, Jordi Franch, thank you very much for this great interview, and I hope to see you all again for another episode of Ficava Vet Chat soon.
Okay.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Bye-bye.